Hi there folks, welcome back to another video. And today's video is a very personal story of my hearing loss and recovery. Recovery made possible by Jabra Enhance Select 200 hearing aids. Before I begin telling my story, I need to mention these hearing aids are not for anyone under the age of 18. And there's also a full list of disclaimers at the very end of this video. Also, even though I love these hearing aids, I was reimbursed for the cost of the hearing aids and paid for the use of my story in marketing. I grew up in northeastern Canada and literally spent almost all of my free time exploring the forests and fields and learning all of the birds by ear in that area. So eventually I created my own bird touring company, primarily with tours to Costa Rica and Australia. I never really noticed my hearing starting to go, to be honest. I continued to guide after I moved to southeast Arizona, and one of my friends there told me, essentially, I really enjoyed the birding excursion, Don. We were together for 5 days. He said, but, you know, bud, you're not hearing about 70% of what we're listening to. And that was embarrassing. So I figured I'd just pack in the guiding. Another tour guide who I knew, Rich, was on the hiking trail ahead of me, and I bumped into him, and Rich had hearing aids in. And he said, and you know what's really cool? I've got them all programmed with my smartphone. So if I hear a species that's really high-pitched, I can just literally tune that in using my smartphone, and bingo, I can hear it. So, of course, my next question was, like a lot of people would want to know, how much do those things cost? And Rich said, mine were about $7,000. So a big game changer for me was when hearing aids became an over-the-counter device. So that made them affordable for me, and I started to look online, and that's where I discovered Jabra. And I was like, okay, I like the looks of them, look really compact. Let's see what people have to say about them. Good reviews. And much to my delight, you can pay for them monthly, and the cost is pretty reasonable. So I chose the Jabra Enhance Select 200. The first step for you is to do the online hearing aid test. The graph showed me that my high range, high frequency hearing was badly impaired. Jabra says I can return these things in 100 days if I'm not happy with them. The audiologists at Jabra fine-tuned my hearing aids so that right out of the box I could use them. So the hearing aids arrived pretty quickly, and I was really excited but intimidated. I mean, I'd never used these things before. And so first thing I did, I charged them fully and then popped them in. And there was a mockingbird. Oh wow, that bird was in the neighbor's yard actually. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was like the bird was in the same room with me. And I just stood and cried. And then I thought, well, that's great for mockingbirds. They have a really rich song anyway. But what about the warbler group? So you can bet I was so excited to take these things birding. So I'm sure there's birds singing here. I just can't hear them. All right, let's put these hearing aids on and just see what happens. Okay, that was the left ear. Now let's do the right ear. And as they say, we're wired for sound. Well, this looks like excellent warbler habitat, and I'm looking for one species in particular. So normally the best way to locate this species is just by ear, but unfortunately their song is so high-pitched, as a rule I can't hear it. So I've got my hearing aids cranked up to level 4, so that should allow me to hear even high-pitched species. Got it. Nice. And I can totally hear them. It's so cool. So during my phone call to my audiologist, she said, "Don, I think the receiver wires to your hearing aids are a little bit too short." So, no charge. She sent me some new ones. So I watched the video on how to change out the receiver wires, and they're pretty small, but I think I can do it. I'm going to take my hearing aid and grip it firmly and push the wire aside a bit, then take that little tiny red button and push down on it. And boom, it came out. Cool. One thing I really worried about destroying was this rubber dome, but apparently you can just fold it back and then firmly but gently pull it off. So just take this protector part off. Ah, okay. I had it upside down. In we go. Just like that. I'll just pop it back in the case here. And I want to see if there's a little green light showing that it's ready to go. So you'll see a variety of settings on the app. Fortunately, there's not many. So the first one is all around, and then you can click a button called Speech Clarity here. Also with a noise filter, you can put that on. So the next setting is Restaurant, and I tested this one out at a friend's home. The husband was cooking way across the room, and I was sitting at the table with the wife, and I could hear everything he was saying to us. This one I've labeled Outdoor Fun, and basically it's tuned to high pitch sounds. And there's also something called Sound Enhancer. When I click that, now I can turn up treble, and that is amazing. I mean, we're talking amazing. So the hearing aid case is what's used to charge them. So naturally, if you have one of these adapters and poke it into your cigarette lighter, then you can charge the hearing aids right from your car. And then of course, for a standard household outlet, you can just plug this in like so. I'll tell you, I really love the fact that I don't have to crank up the volume on the TV anymore or ask my friends to repeat themselves. These hearing aids are more than capable of taking care of that. Oh, and in case anyone's wondering, I have gone back to guiding. You may want another type of hearing aid. And Jabra has several different models that you can choose from. So if you have more in-depth questions about hearing aids, and in particular these hearing aids that I'm wearing, reach out to Jabra. I will leave information on how you can contact them in the video description below. So thank you so much, folks, for joining me here on this video describing my hearing journey. And I can honestly say it's absolutely fantastic being able to hear again.